Full time from St James's Park. You're watching Toon Army TV. Instant match reaction. Newcastle United 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Let's be open and honest and say it's 2 points dropped for the Toon. Any other time, drawn 1-1 with Wolves would be acceptable. But when you're in our situation, we're 17th in the league. We need points to pull further clear of Fulham. We had a 1-0 lead and we let it slip. 1-0 is only a slender lead in this league. You will get punished if you don't double it. And I've said this before, and we've shot ourselves in the foot. First half, we were in full control of that game. We had chances to have been at least 2-0 up at half time. We had Almiron go 1-on-1. He hits the post. I believe he's got to score that, in my opinion, when you're 1-on-1 with the keeper. And ASM has a ball in the net. Joe Linton has a big chance. And at 0-0, it's anyone's game. Second half, we do start bright. And we do take the lead with a Jamal Lascelles header. Fantastic header. Great cross by Ryan Fraser. But 1-0 is only slim. And you've got to double it, and we didn't. And Wolves, we know have got quality. They're a good side. They're no pushovers. I said this before the game, that Wolves will get chances. And you have to be at least a couple of goals ahead, and we weren't. And Wolves scored an identical equaliser through a Ruben Neves header, which should have been dealt with. I'll talk about that in a second. It's a point, but it could have been 3. For me, it's 2 points dropped. It really is. And it could either be a good point or a point that could cost us come the end of the season. I said before the game, we've got 4 winnable fixtures. Wolves, West Brom, Brighton and Aston Villa. Now that we've drawn with Wolves, we have got to get a result against West Bromwich Albion, who won earlier on in the day. Now, I'll run through the starting 11. So it was Martin Dubravka in net. Finally, Caldala was dropped. It's the right decision. And he kept us in the game towards the end. Wolves had plenty of chances in that second half to have actually nicked it 2-1. We had a chance, off the line. And then we went with like a 4-3-3 formation. So the back four was Emil Kraft. I was surprised at that, but not so surprised if he's our only right back we have. Left back was Jamal Lewis. 2 centre-backs were captain Jamal Lascelles and Kieran Clark. Then in the midfield, we played Isaac Hayden, John Joe Shelvey, Joe Willock, Almiron, ASM out wide, and Joe Linton as a striker. Again, when you play Joe Linton, you wonder, what does he offer? Why is Steve Bruce in a game of this magnitude starting Joe Linton? You would rather play Dwight Gale for a bit of pace, and now he's probably going to regret it because Wolves were there for the taking, especially first half. A player with a bit of pace may have actually just cut Wolves open. We didn't, but that's the way football flows. So first half, as mentioned before, we were in full control of the game, and when you're in full control, you've got to take the lead, you've got to take the initiative, and we didn't. So Hayden, he gets a header, and it's a good save by Rui Patricio. Miggy is 1-on-1, he's put through, he beats the offside trap. 1-on-1 with Rui Patricio, and he hits the left-hand post, it bounces out, and we rue that big chance. That could have been 1-0 there and then. Wolves are on high alert, they're not really starting the game well. It was all Newcastle, in the first half, I have to say. ASM has a ball in the net, but it's ruled for offside. It was the correct decision. And then Adama Traore also had a headed chance, which was saved by Martin Dubravka. I look back at that chance when the ball goes across to him. If he sort of angles his header, he puts that into the bottom right-hand corner at the Gallagher, and Wolves could have been 1-0 up. And that was about it for the first half. We're going to the break 0-0. I'm a little bit gutted at this point because we should at least been a couple of goals up, and I don't think a Wolves fan could really argue about that. Second half, there was a first sub, and that was Miggy Almiron was taken off for Ryan Fraser, and it paid off in the end because he assisted our first goal in terms of the cross. So in the 52nd minute, Newcastle go 1-0 up through Jamal Lascelles' header. Yes, him, of all players, Jamal Lascelles, the captain, scores with a header. It's not the first time he scored past Wolves, and he does it again tonight. It's a crucial lead, and you're thinking, right, okay, we need to build on it, but it comes from a corner. John Joe Shelvey whips the ball in. It manages to, the ball finds its way to ASM. He deserves a lot of credit for shielding the ball and not giving it away. He just chips it into the box. Saiss, unfortunately for him, he heads it across to Ryan Fraser on the right-hand side, and he just whips a delicious ball into Jamal Lascelles, and he powers it beyond Rui Patricio, bottom right-hand corner. Great header, fantastic. That's what I want to see more of, and that's why I want to see Ryan Fraser play games, because he's a threat. He'll cut in. He'll put crosses into the box, something that we lack, and he's got pace, and there you go. We're 1-0 up, but it's only a slender lead in this league, and we are punished later on, and we do lose ASM, unfortunately, to a knock, and he's replaced by Jacob Murphy. I hope he's okay. I hope it's nothing serious in the long term, because we're going to miss him. And as soon as he went off the pitch, the tempo that we had, it just dropped. It just wasn't the same, and I was panicking to the point where Wolves were going to get back into the game, and they did. And Steve Bruce then obviously did make another change as Wolves were putting the pressure on. They couldn't quite do anything in the final third. So Kraft was taken off for Matt Ritchie. And then sort of 10 minutes after Wolves were putting the pressure on, when ASM went off, Wolves then go and take the lead. Go and equalise at 1-1. And it is a good header by Ruben Neves, but you have to question the marking. At first, Jamal Lewis, who's putting in the tackle on Pedro Neto. It is an excellent cross towards Ruben Neves to power it beyond Dubravka, bottom left-hand corner. But then I question Hayden. He's the closest to, Ruben Neves, and it's a free header. It's poor. In our situation, we can't afford to, to be going with that attitude of 1-0's enough. It's never enough. I've said this before. And Wolves from there, they dominated. Yes, we had a ball off the line when Jacob Murphy squared it across to him. Joe Linton had a shot, and it beat Rui Patricio. Saiss heads it over the crossbar. There was talk of handball, but it was the correct decision. Wolves threatened towards the end, and Dubravka had to make a very good save to deny Wolves, a potential late winner. And I wouldn't have been surprised, given the fact that the minute ASM went off, we were in our shells. And I'm just good because, we had a lead. The first half will be ruined with missed opportunities. And I said this before, we've done it so many times in games against Chelsea, Manchester United, where we'll have bright moments, but we don't make it count. And first half alone, we could have been 2 up. But no, 1-0's never enough. And yeah, listen, credit to the lads for continuing on in the second half and getting the lead. But yeah, for me, it's 2 points dropped, but could be a good point in the long run. The only positive you can take from the game is that, or 2 positives, that we didn't lose it. And secondly, we are now joint points with Brighton, who lost earlier on the day against West Brom. They missed 2 pens. We're on 26 points, but it could have been so much more. We could have been level with Burnley. Yes, we wouldn't have got ahead of them on the goal difference, but it would really have helped if we get, onto 28 points. But now it's over to Fulham, and they can really put the pressure on tomorrow afternoon if they beat Crystal Palace. And if they do that, then they go on 25. They're only a point behind us and Brighton. So it's not just us under the pressure. It's actually Brighton, Newcastle and Burnley. I feel like it is, like I say, points dropped at home. We can't afford to be dropping points at home. And now the West Brom game is so important that we've got to get a victory. Because if we draw against West Brom or lose, for me, it's not good enough. It's not. And now that we've lost Miggy and ASM to injury, let's just hope they're not going to be out for long, because they're key, to our success. We're losing Callum Wilson. The injuries tonight haven't helped. If we keep ASM and Miggy on the pitch, it could have been a different game. Yeah, you see it in my face, I'm just frustrated because we had more than enough chances. We had more than enough possession. Yes, Wolves had their moment in the second half. They were never just going to sit back the whole game. They had a game plan, at 1-0 down, and they stuck to it. And fair play to them, but they don't need the points. They're not going to be, challenging for European football at the end of the season. It's just it is a shame, that it's come to that. But hey ho, it is what it is. Newcastle United have drawn 1-1 at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers. We'll take the point. We've got to move on, but we've got to learn from it to defend better and not make basic mistakes. Because for Wolves' goal, yes, as much as it was a good finish, it's a basic defensive error. And Jamal Lewis again was a fault, for the way the cross went in. Not for the first time this season. I do stick up for the lad, but tonight I can't. I really can't. And Hayden, for me, needs to take some of the blame. The defence, switching off, man. You cannot afford to switch off in this league. But nevertheless, we didn't lose. If you enjoyed, you could have enjoyed it, really. Let me know what you thought about the game down below in the comment section. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, hit the like button, and I'll see you all for the preview for West Brom. That'll be out on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. Away the lads.